Hello, everyone, and welcome to As Seen on TV on GDQ Hotfix. I'm Nichole Goodnight, and I'm very excited for today's episode. We have a very themed episode today, which you'll see soon. I hope you had a good week last week. If you checked out GDQ, let me know what your favorite run was. There were so many good ones. I don't think I can pick a favorite, but also, if you missed any of our shows or events, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. You can catch up on anything you missed on Mainline and Hotfix, and it's so exciting. I'm so excited to catch the runs that I did miss, but all the ones I saw were absolute bangers. So tonight, we have a very themed episode, like I said. We are, it's Oops All Doraemon, just 100%. I'm very excited for it. I want your opinions in chat as to what type of animal Doraemon is, because I know. But does chat know? Can we have a little argument about it? Can we have like a little debate, perhaps a friendly debate? So while you're doing that, we're going to introduce our first runner, which is Braxco, and they're going to run the first Doraemon of tonight's many Doraemon games. So let's go ahead and jump right in and start our little Doraemon, our Dorathon. Okay, go take. Don't let me talk anymore.
I'm Praxo, and I'm the runner of Doraemon 1, and my commentator is Madwar. Mari.
Hello, I'm Madwar. I'm gonna be commentating Praxo's run. So we can start whenever, right? I also run Doraemon, so yeah. Is the file ready? Yeah. So I will count down. So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So we're gonna be playing Doraemon 1, the first one of the trilogy for N64. The lore of the game is kind of unknown because the game is not translated into English. It's something like we have to get the gems to help this kingdom type of thing and like defeat the devil, something like that, trap it. So we gotta get a lot of gadgets in the run. The first one here is the anywhere door that we already get it, and the air cannon. The air cannon is only used a few times. We're gonna be seeing Doraemon use it. So we have here Suneo, and it's not Doraemon, right? So Suneo is actually the fastest one in the game. So like, is it the one that we're gonna be using the majority of the time?
Mm-hmm.
It's also like really good for dealing with bosses. So we're gonna see it in bosses as well. And we are heading now to the first boss. We got the air cannon that we're gonna be using with Doraemon to defeat this boss. And as I said before, we have to collect the gems. So this is one of the first gems that we get. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are 9 gems in the run.
Yeah, that's 9.
Mm-hmm. We are now manipulating the boss by walking and shooting in a certain pattern, like certain delay. And we can kill it in one go. And that was it. It was a really nice and clean kill. And yeah, a lot of explosions as well. You could see that this game is gonna have a lot of explosions in bosses. So get ready for that. Also, we have to go back because every gadget basically is gonna be used to access new areas or to power up our character. So we go with Suneo here. We're gonna get the champion gloves. These are like the most broken item or gadget in the run because it's like the thing that deals the most damage, basically. So
Yeah,
we're gonna very OP. We get in there. We have to make a few jumps, and that's it. So we got first like the first seconds of the run, the anywhere door or the magical door or something like that. That allows us to go back to the spawn, to the start of the level. And that's gonna be used a lot. Like when we get some gadgets, we can go back to the start of the game. So we are heading now to the second level. We're gonna be using those seeds to ride this kind of like dino creature. So we also have to know that like all of this is not really canon in Doraemon. So it's kind of like just made for the game. That also happens with the movies as well, by the way. So like in the movies you would see this like not canon events. For example, this dino. This dino here is called, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Pokera. So since we lack the translation, we just get to know by ourselves. So we take damage here. We took damage here in this purple thing because we're gonna like die later to respawn in the first part of the stage. We get this jump here that Praxo is trying. It's actually like developed like not so long ago. It saves about 20 seconds. It's really, really hard. We can make wall jumps in this game. It's kind of like Mario 64 style, but in corners. So it's like really difficult strat, but can save us a lot of time. And we get one of the gadgets that we require here. And there it is. There's the death. We're gonna use this gadget that we got to have a race with a rat here. It's kind of like a weird race because it doesn't matter if you are second, if you're like late, you still get the reward. I don't know if it's a game issue or not. That's up to like people that actually know Japanese to know. But yeah, so we get this rat here. We're gonna be racing, and it's pretty straightforward, really. Like we have a lot of leniency, and it's pretty chill. I was saying Praxo before that this rat reminds me a lot of like Hamtaro. Like I don't know if you all remember that that show, that anime. So it's really cute. Yeah, really cute. It reminds me of that. So yeah, we go here. It's pretty chill. There's no much nothing to do. So we just walk. We also we have taken we have taken the nose tube, right? Before. That's gonna be used for getting into the water next stage. So we see how the pattern is here. We get a gadget and we get access to another area. So let's be ready for the next stage, which is water level. Because since we don't have really the translation, we're gonna be calling all the stages like that: the water level, the dino level, the grass level. So yeah, yeah. Like even I think in the game there's not called. I think in the strategy guide for this game, they have names for the stages. So there's that, and we get the gem that we're talking about. One of the gems. So we're gonna go to the first water level because we have many water levels in Doraemon 1. We actually have 4, 3.5 kind of, but let's say it's 4. So we're gonna get to the first one, and it's actually pretty chill as well. So in the first one we're gonna have another gadget, which is I think it's called small light, something like that, like small light, right? Which is gonna shrink objects for us, and we're gonna be using it later. So there it is, and we're gonna be going through the level. It's nothing much. It's just like a swim, a little.
It's very boring.
Yeah, it's very boring, honestly. But it's fine. We get to explore this place. We see the walls. It's really interesting. We're watching actually like Doraemon with Praxo. We have been in like kind of like a Doraethon, right? We have been watching since the first season, like 1979. We wanna like get up to like the latest episodes, so like what, 2000 episodes? at some
Oh my
point.
gosh.
Yeah, it's like a grind, but it's fun. We watch like all the episodes, and it's like it really shows up like the difference in cultures in the time like yeah they change. So coming back to the gameplay, we talked to some NPCs here. It's kind of like a quest with these NPCs. The thing is that we have to raise the water level because we have to get to the coast, kind of a thing. So there's a gem there, and that's gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, the third gem of the run. That's gonna allow us to do a lot of things. So let's see. We also got that cloth right there. That's a time cloth. It's used for making things old or making things younger. I don't know how to say it, but like you get the deal.
Age
Yeah,
faster or
Yeah, age faster.
oh, it's in reverse.
So we
depending
can
on the
actually,
size.
we can actually like make things older or like repair things that we're gonna be using later. You're gonna see it later when we use the time clock, and that's the first gem, the first blue gem. So we said there are 3 gems. There's the red one, the blue one, and the green one. So that's the first one of the blues. So here we're using the shrink, the small light, motor light, and we made already the rock small, and we're gonna get to the point where it's usually in a Doraemon run, reset heavy point, kind of. So we have this one of these jumps that we talked about before. It's super precise. It's like 2-frame window where you have to like jump in this corner, and you have to make it with speed. So it can take a little bit of time. Let's see if Praxo can get it like
Just
quickly, and there it is. That's pretty clean. So as I said, we are using Suneo for almost everything. Before, in the past, we used to use Shizuka, which is a female character of the roster, and it was used because the jump is higher in this game. So we're actually gonna use Shizuka later, but it's only used when when you're required to jump higher. So if it is for because of speed, we just use Suneo, or for like killing bosses, it's Suneo. So that's it. It's also like, yeah, like this is the strongest character. We use we get the last green gem here, and with that gem we rescue the king, right?
yeah, the Green
No,
King.
not. Mhm.
Yeah, we can rescue the Green King in the next level, which is the boss area of each world.
Yeah, so we used before, like for this wall that we just passed, we used the pass loop, which is like the gadget that we used before, right? To make it through the wall. But we get to we call it the lava level. So we have another boss here. We kill those boss. We kill every basically creature in this game to access to different parts. Like it's required, right? We're gonna be talking to these NPCs right here to make the lava level lower. That's gonna be useful for accessing like where the boss is, and obviously not burning, right? So we're gonna be entering the boss area. So here we just need to access to the deeper levels of this kind of cave. We're gonna get a key, and we're gonna access to the actual boss area. Also, the community has been grinding this game quite a lot lately. The community is small, obviously,
Yeah.
but we actually got a world record today, right? Praxa got world record for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke
So
the
that's-
next minute barrier.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
actually
it.
really big. So congrats, that's pretty huge actually, because the world record was like actually optimized. So that's pretty big. So we're gonna get to this next boss. It's kind of like a Minotaur boss, and we're gonna be manipulating it, the fight. we're gonna be jumping on top of it and going back at a certain position, so the boss doesn't reset the pose or like the stance. So we can actually like jump on it like in a row, like in chaining the jumps. Yeah, it's a normal fight. It's not too much. Can make you lose time, of course. And like as you saw, every boss in this game just explodes, like lots of explosions. It's insane. Makes it kind of hilarious. Like reminder that these are just kids in a fictional world defeating bosses, and they explode. So we saw this king right here just a few seconds ago. That's one of the kings of the green gems. So like we don't require more green gems, so we're gonna be getting the other colors. So remember that time cloth I talked about? It's gonna be useful for repairing this car, and we're gonna have a race. It's gonna be racing time. So this game has it all. Has air cannon, boxing. We have bosses, and we have also racing. What? For the N64, it's crazy.
Such variety.
Yeah. And you can also select very characters. That's incredible for an N64 game, right? So we have this bullet, right? Type of thing. Cannon, whatever. And we have to do 2 races first. The first one is actually pretty easy. There's no much to it. Just like you follow a path and you just get to the race line. And there's nothing much to it. We have tried many hours to find the skips in this race, but like we still cannot get it.
Impossible.
It's impossible. There's something that you could maybe do, but like we still don't get it.
You need impossible speed to get up there from.
Yeah. Like if you hack the speed and just like hit one of these slopes, you can get up there, and like you theoretically could like skip half of the race. But that's just theory for now. Maybe some day 2025, someone who comes into a community and says, I have the solution or something, but no, not yet. So we also have times here, like we can get to the goal like faster or slower. We have that time reminding us the time, so like we can kind of like compete, like who gets the fastest time and stuff like that. And we're gonna have in this next race a slower, the faster time, because we will have this power ups in the stage, in the race. Because this bullet is actually faster than the other one, so you actually require to get those, and like you actually require to not hit the walls, because you might otherwise just like be second and not get the gem in this case. So let's hope Praxo actually don't hit the walls. Or you have to race again. Yeah, of course.
I'll try my
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. She has a Doraemon driving license, so it's all fine. And with that, we're gonna be getting well, we got a cream, right? Right before the second race. That cream is gonna allow us to get to the next level. Like we call it the ship level, which is we just have to go deeper in the sea. So that's what the cream is required for. So we can like actually breathe or in like a high pressure environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go again, right? With Tuna, we go deep in the water, and we get to the ship level. This ship level is actually like kind of hard sometimes, because you're gonna see one of the main disadvantages of the N64 3D games, which is a camera. but we're gonna see later. This is indeed original hardware. The game is not translated to English, so like you have to use a Japanese cartridge for it, and yeah, you have to import it. The first and second game are cheap, right? But the third one is a kind of complicated to get.
It's
And
60 monies.
yeah, 60 euros. Actually, Spraxo is gonna. I think you're gonna learn Doraemon 2 as well, right?
I bought the game just play Super Mario.
Yeah. So we have to kill some enemies here. We're gonna open a door right next to it, and we're gonna get our next gadget here. We pressed our button here. That button is gonna activate a bridge that we're gonna be seeing later in this stage. This gadget that we got is not really a gadget. It's more like beans, like the tail.
It's
Like the yeah, it's like the magic beans, right? So that's gonna allow us to go what we call the sky or something. It's like a place in the sky where there are like many levels that we have to beat. It's like the end of the game. So the problem that I was saying before about the camera is that we have to hit these pillars in the ceiling, and like you cannot adjust like just a modern game. It's really hard to just rotate the character to aim for them, but like we grind them a lot, so it's actually fine. But like at first, hitting those is really hard. So those, when you shoot them and you make them go to the water, they raise the level, so we can go inside the ship and get our next gadget. Yay! This game is actually like just as a show. There's like so many gadgets. They do so many things. Almost every episode is new gadget. So that's really fun, I guess.
Or remakes of the old episodes.
Yeah, Doraemon makes actually a lot of remakes in the series. Like we're watching, like as I said, the 1979 show, and like lots of episodes that we have seen, they just made remakes in the 2000s. So it's funny to see the actual original version of the episode. So yeah, lots of gadgets. We're gonna be seeing our next boss soon. We have these jumps here that are kind of like complicated. We have this slope, and we just have to time it in our minds to like jump precisely. It's like we have to just like figure it out. It's kind of like a glitch. It's like this jump in a slope repeatedly, but definitely complicated. This boss is actually kind of hilariously funny, hilariously short, because you just need to hit it twice. The problem is that if you don't hit it twice, the boss goes like a ghost version or something, and like you cannot hit it. But like just hitting it twice is fine, and it's dead. And as always, lots of explosions. And that's the gem that we just got.
Yeah.
When I take a second for water, 1 second.
We are going to the last water level that we are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like 3.5 because it's kind of like ice, and also like not you don't swim here. But let's say it's just the fourth water level for convenience.
You swim at the start.
Well, it's okay for convenience. Let's say it's a water level. So this next boss is gonna be sad to see it be defeated. You're gonna see in a moment. But here we're gonna go to get a key right away. That's gonna be unlocking the boss area. we have to do some maneuvering over some bookshelves. We're gonna see. So we said before that Shizuka is actually the one that like jumps higher. So here we killed the book and we like obviously jumped with Shizuka before. So like that's pretty good.
You can only do that jump with Shizuka.
Yeah, you're required to like switch the characters.
I guess
it's actually
it's
pretty
not
neat.
intended because I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's
pretty neat
convenient
that
that there's a book there.
Yeah. It's pretty neat that you can change characters like that. It's a unique feature for sure.
Very.
Yeah, that ghost that we just saw before can actually ruin our run. If it hits you, you lose around what, Praxo? Like a minute and a half?
Yeah, you fall to the ground and you have to swim back to the intro, and you have to redo the level.
Yeah, that's pretty inconvenient if it happens. So I said that this is a really sad boss to defeat because it's Santa Claus. No, Santa, no.
Oh.
We're ruining the Christmas. Not really. He's like an evil Santa, so it's fine. We just defeated and we saved Christmas actually because evil Santa. Remember. I don't really know. Like the lore is so random in this one. Honestly, we just have to defeat evil Santa. Probably Japanese runners will know what's happening in this lore, but it's pretty funny either way.
And he explodes.
Of course, as every boss.
And we get the key.
Yay! Gift time.
And we save the next thing, which is the second one.
So now that we are done with all the water levels, and also like yeah, we're going to the sky. Like we saved also like the Blue King, so we are just left with the last gems of the run. So remember that bean that we just got in the ship like a couple minutes ago? We planted here and we make this huge tree. Like the magic bean. So like we're gonna get to the sky real soon. Okay, so we're gonna get to the first. So we have different levels here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels that we have to beat. The first level is a lot of cycles, and we just have to wait basically here. Like there's not much thing to do. It's just getting to the boss of this level as fast as we can, depending on the cycles of the platforms.
And we also get a gadget.
Yeah, we get one of the gadgets
for the next stage.
Yeah, obviously for the next stage. It's like we get the gadget for the next stage, we go to the next stage, and just like that. So, and we're gonna be getting a really unfortunate gadget soon, because one of the next stages here is really boring. It's actually really boring, but we have plans. We have plans to make it not that boring. Like you're gonna see what do I mean by that. So what we just got is the
anything controller.
Anything controller, right? So like it's gonna like allow us to ride creatures or like insects or anything.
Anything
I remember, anything. I remember some episode, Doraemon episode, where they ride insects, like flying insects, and they go like different places. And it's all this adventure because they were like tiny characters because they got shrinked, and they also like rode different insects. So there was this whole episode about it. But we have this next boss, and it's pretty easy, same as the skeleton one. It's 2 hits, I think. So it's really short. So, I said this was boring because reasons. We're gonna see
we're gonna see
the infamous
level.
level here. Yeah,
You get this flying something.
Yeah, this is gonna be the auto scroller of the run. It's just an auto scroller that lasts how many minutes?
3 minutes.
3
And you have
minutes.
to do it twice.
Yeah, twice. You have to do it twice. So it's 6 minutes of auto scroller. And like it's not even a good auto scroller because I think you cannot die. And you cannot speed it up. So it's literally just waiting.
Go down, go up, but there's a
You can actually
and
slow it. Yeah. But other than that, it's just 6 minutes of auto scroller. So I'm gonna be reading something for you all. I hope you like it. So I'm gonna be telling Doraemon's origins story. If anyone wanna read that. So Doraemon actually is, as you were wondering before, a gadget cat. So it's a cat. So I don't know if you all know, but like he comes from the future because these robot cats in the future are kind of like caretakers that take care of the kids. They're like cute and they have these just ears and like, but like Doraemon doesn't have ears, right? So it's curious, right? And these old robots from the future actually are like yellow. So it's why Doraemon is blue, right? So what happens is that Doraemon was not like really lucky because he got bit by a rat in his ears, and later on he tried to get them fixed, and like they got ruined. So like Doraemon doesn't really have ears. That's so sad. Like he was actually really sad and cried a lot, and that made like his yellow paint go blue. So it's a really sad story. But like and like due to all of that, he was really unlucky. But like he got a baby, like not baby, just like a kid to caretake of, and this kid also really unlucky. He was kind of like poor. He was in a poor family as well. So like they were struggling as a family as a whole, and like the Doraemon really wanted to try to help and all that, but like it was not really like good. So it's what they planned as a family, and this family is like actually the great grandson of Nobita, which is the main character of Doraemon. So you see, there were parents. This kid in the future that Doraemon took care of is a great grandson of sorry, not grandson. What is it? But they're parents from the future. That's it. So Doraemon, what he does is goes back in the past to try to help this parent of this future kid, to make the family as a whole like just better for the future, just like the stability and like have a better life and those type of style of things. So Doraemon is just like helping indirectly this future family, this family from the future, by going to the current era, and which is like what is it, 2000s. So it's a really tragic story, but also like a story of love and like is being kind to each other, like Doraemon just wanna help this family. So that's the story, the origins of Doraemon.
Yeah, and we are still not done with that.
Yeah, we're not done with the autoscroller. Why do you have to do it twice? We don't know. We just have to do it twice.
You have to get a gem in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the second round, you have to take the next gadget for the next level. So they really wanted you to do this level twice.
Yeah. Like that's some game design issue here.
Yeah.
I think they did not
design.
try this level. But nonetheless, it's fine. We're already almost on, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't expect his origin story to be so sad. Like, oh yeah, he's blue because he cried. Oh, and he has no ears because he was bit. That's tragic.
It is tragic. Like the movie actually like really emotional. Like if you're having an emotional day, don't watch the Doraemon movie, The Origins or whatever.
Yeah, it's an hour, like a short movie.
Yeah, it's like 1 hour, I think.
No, it's probably 30 minutes or so.
We have watched like a couple, actually like a dozen of Doraemon movies, I would say, and they have like his lore here and there. They're like not really canon, but like they have lore. That
Yeah.
OVA though is like it has a lot of content, right, of the origins.
Mm-hmm. We finished the autoscroller.
Yay! And we go to the third air kind of level. We get this level is actually really fun to me. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's to you.
Yeah, I really like the music too. And we use the infamous gadget in this one. The
How is it called? I don't know in English.
Hopter.
Copter.
Yeah, it's Hopter.
Like we're both Spanish speakers, so we know this gadget as gorrocóptero.
Yeah.
But it's basically just for flying. We get it here to just get one of the last gems and this gadget, right? That is gonna allow us to like go to the actual last stage.
Yeah.
So, I really like the music of this stage as well. It's like really, I don't know if groovy is the word, but like it's kind of catchy. I like the vibes.
And we get the one of the we get the second gem in this one.
Yeah, we're just missing one gem. Yeah, and the game is over. But we're gonna be reaching we call it castle level.
So it's a castle.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna do the
Probably.
trick?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In the run?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be seeing a trick here. It is quite quite interesting. We call it Pichu skip. You would say, why Pichu skip? Well, the reason is not what you think, because Praxa's cat is called Pichu, and we like Prax and me made the strat kind of, and we are like the ones who use them in runs. So like Samantha, Praxo
Yeah.
just named the strat Pichu skip. So it's 2 wall jumps done in a row, and it saves around 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's actually really, really big trick, but it's really, really, really hard. Oh my god! And you get it. That's actually
what's the thing,
insane.
by the way? Wow.
Are you all record pace?
I don't know. I just want to know
This-
the pace.
Oh,
Because this is the same like the run before. This is the same.
that was actually really impressive. Like the trick takes, I would say, an average of like 2 minutes to get. That's what I got
Oh my
when I
gosh.
tried, because
Yeah.
it's really, really hard. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
really like looks that impressive, but like if you try to make one wall jump, it's hard. Twice in a row, oh my god! So that's really, really good. Yay!
And we're going to the last boss again. After we save the king.
It's like the devil
Yeah, it's the devil.
thingy. We use all the gems that we got to kind of like capture him after we defeat it. So that's gonna be the end of the run. Whenever like when we beat him. As always, we beat bosses with our punches, with Suneo punches. So it's gonna be a Suneo fight. Yeah, we have 3 kings. Like every king is like different gem. That I guess we like save them with the gems. Like when we get like all the blue gems or the red gems. So we have this devil here. It's just like hitting it. The devil has actually some shields that he can use. There are some strats that are being actually like developed like as of right now, this week, the last few weeks. So we can have a shield less, which is just manipulating the boss to actually not use the shield somehow. It's kind of hard to know how to do it, but like we're trying to figure it out. It's in the process. It's in development.
Yeah.
GG.
Well, not yet.
Well, not yet, yeah. So the timer is not done, but basically the game is over. So GG.
And that's that.
Nicely done.
Yay! What time did you get?
I don't know. I'm not checking. I'm not checking.
That's like
I've got a little bit of stream lag, so I will let you know as soon as I know.
Hello.
Was it 3920?
Oh.
19. 3919.
That's still pretty good. That still beats the old world record.
yeah, that's literally the best time, except for today because you got world record.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty good.
Very nice.
Yay!
And this is the whole roster in the game.
Yeah, we don't use really Nobita or a giant or like Gigante in Spanish.
Yeah.
They're not really useful in the run, so like you never saw them before, but they're they're there. It's funny because Nobita is like principal character as well, like main characters with Doraemon, but
We don't
I guess they didn't have much affection for the poor boy.
Oh.
It's not really strong. Like I actually don't have I cannot think of him of any like good attribute in the game. But yeah.
He has a gun to shoot better for the pillars in the ship.
I see. So it's like faster than to do it with Nobita. Like, okay, so we're gonna show actually some funny
Some
things.
stuff.
Yeah, we can access to this like part that we cannot access usually. We can like do some silly jump here to get to a place that we like after the loading zone. Oh, we didn't get it, but like we got to the water. There's like water. Below the terrain.
Yeah.
We can actually
so,
like
yeah,
going.
you can go anywhere in the water without going to the water, really, because the hitbox is in the sun. So we can go below. Like we can access the checkbox here with that from below. Well,
yeah, you could show the characters that we never got to see. Do you want to show that?
Okay, I guess. This is Yanta. He doesn't yell much.
He's like the bully, right, of the Doraemon. So
Yeah.
like
He's
yeah,
and
really
there's,
mean.
remember the fairy that we had like as a 2D like sprite in the run? Well, this her. We recovered her true form, and we can get to play as her after reading the game. But it's not really useful. Doraemon.
Yeah, we use Doraemon a little bit, right? For like the
Yeah.
pillars that we have to shoot, the boss, and like the start of the game. And Nobita, show Nobita. Poor Nobita. Okay. Do you have anything more to show?
Wait. And then there's Shizuka, which runs very slow, but jumps super high. Yeah. Have to show somewhere. I don't know. I mean, probably we can jump here to
Yeah, there are many places we can do like we can do these wall jumps that we did in
here's the hitbox to check for the water. So if you go here, you don't trigger it, and you can jump into the water.
Yeah, that saves
you
like
can
a few
enter
times,
early.
a few seconds. But that's like really hard,
that's it.
really hard to do.
Yeah, that's it pretty much. Yeah.
I love that you can go see just all this stuff after.
Never walk here.
One more question: is it possible to beat the game without ever switching characters? That's a good question.
Yeah, you can.
I think you can with the
Yeah,
Doraemon.
you can
with the
Doraemon.
cannon.
So you have to beat every boss with Doraemon.
It's just like way harder, I think.
Yeah.
Challenge.
In low percent, I
Exactly.
think you can do that, but Suno is still used for running. And yeah, I've never walked here. Have you walked here?
I think I have been there, yeah. Or like just feeling around, goofing around.
If people wanted to catch your streams, where could they find you?
You can find me on Twitch. My Twitch is Praxorem, with no spaces, like Praxorem. And yeah, I only do Twitch. I also have a YouTube for like bots and stuff, my runs, and it's Praxo.
Yeah, I do streams as well in Twitch. It's madware_. I do like Mario, Apescape, and Doraemon. That's pretty much it. You can follow me if you want.
Well, thank you both so much. That was A, fun to watch. B, I learned a lot, including the tragic backstory. So, chat, if you want to hang on for just a little bit, we are going to take a very quick break. And then we'll be back with Doraemon 2, so you can get even more Doraemon. But yeah, stand up, stretch, get some water. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back to As Seen on TV on Games Done Quick Hotfix. I'm Nichole Goodnight, and you are joining us for our Doraemon marathon. It's not happening. It's not going to work. Well, welcome back. Just so you know, we do have an official GDQ Discord that you can join and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff and showrunners, and more. So if you use !Discord in Twitch chat, you can get more information on that. And also, we are going to PAX West. The schedule will be released July 14th. Use !PAX in Twitch chat for more information on that. Very, very exciting. And now we're going to have more Doraemon, which I truly, I was not prepared for the tragic backstory of this character, and I'm probably going to be thinking about that a lot over the next, month or two. But I digress. We're going to go to 7th Armstrong with Doraemon 2. Take it away.
Hello. Welcome in, everyone. Can I just say that was an amazing Doraemon 1 run I was watching? Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
But hello. We are going to be running Doraemon 2, and I am joined by Kefka14, who's going to be helping me with commentary. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Now, Doraemon 1 is a little bit of a different game. We got like a whole day-night cycle we have to deal with, so we have to make sure that we are on the easy and normal settings here before we start. Is there anything you'd like to say about Doraemon 2 before we give it a go, Kafka?
Yeah, I've been running this game for about 3 or 4 years now, something like that. And it's just a real treat to finally get these games, just on anything GDQ related. To mirror what you said about the Doraemon 1 run, super treat. It's really cool. She got the world record earlier today, even, and then the second best run of all time ever done of the game happened just a few moments ago. Like, it's just really cool. It's just really cool, you know. Go ahead and take it away, though. Let's get into this.
All right. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna count down, and on go, we'll start the timer. Here we are. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. And if you have any questions about the run, feel free to ask.
Absolutely. So Doraemon 2 is a lot more story-driven. I mean, they're all three of the Doraemon games on the 64 are story-driven, but this one has a lot of cutscenes in particular, which speedrunners love that. You know, we love all those cutscenes that we can't skip. That's a feature. The general story of this game, though, is Nobi, Doraemon, and gang have been stranded in a mysterious world called Crystaka, and basically they have to rescue this world by returning the Crystal of Light to the Pedestal of Light that is within the Temple of Light. Here at the main start of the game, we're just going to be doing some very prologue-y sort of things, kind of rounding up our characters. You can see here we have found Sneech. One interesting factoid is all the voice acting in this game.
Oh, have to cut out for a moment.
One interesting fact is,
Anyway.
and then the mystery.
Yeah, one interesting factoid about this game is that all the voice acting was completely reprised by the original voice actors in the anime, which is pretty fascinating. You don't really hear that sort of thing much. A lot of people kind of call this like a poor man's Zelda, which is
Yeah, I could see that.
which is pretty accurate, honestly. This game has some very weird speed tech in it, though. The category you're seeing here today is any % no door early, and to give a little bit of information about what that means, because it gets pretty arcane. There's an item called the Anywhere Door, which you did see in the last run, and you'll see in the next run as well. There's a way to obtain that item early and be able to warp anywhere in the game, and we're doing the category that doesn't allow you to do that because, frankly, it's very hard to keep up with, and it's not very marathon-friendly or event-friendly.
There's a lot that can go wrong with it. You push one wrong button, and then it's like, well, I need to completely leave the dungeon to reset up the glitch.
Yep, I just lost 6 minutes. Great.
Pretty much.
So you'll notice that the general sort of gameplay loop in this game is find MacGuffin, use MacGuffin on thing immediately after. Seventh there just picked up a purple object a few moments ago. That is a sleeping capsule. It's kind of like a tent in the Final Fantasy series, if you will, or a cottage, or whatever sort of term you want to use. Right now we're picking up the Crystal of Light, which is this world's Triforce, so to speak. So yeah, we already have the main MacGuffin. Now we just got to get it back to its place.
And to do that, we're going to have to beat 3 whole dungeons. But first...
3 whole dungeons.
Oh.
But first,
we have to go talk to a little creature. Very important. This little guy right here.
Yeah, that's God.
Yeah, that is canonically
that's
God.
The character's name?
In Doraemon universe.
Which is,
and God is going to send us on a quest to go hunt down these other crystals from the dungeons so we can get to the last pedestal for the big shiny crystal that we just picked up.
So the thing I kind of like about this Doraemon game is if you're wanting a slightly more chilled speedrun compared to Doraemon 1 or 3, This is definitely a good choice. There's a decent amount of downtime with the cutscenes and stuff. There's a lot of just walking back and forth on uninspired geometry. Another thing I've noticed that's really weird is the aspect ratio for cutscenes is slightly different than the aspect ratio in-game. So sometimes the text like just cuts off on the bottom of the screen. I don't know. It's just a very strange anomaly with this game in particular. You can see now that we have Sue, and Sue was accompanied by another character named Kaoru. Kaoru doesn't really have much of a purpose in this run. If I'm being 100% honest. Here's what I like to call we have Zoras at home. Because, they're off-brand Zoras. They're pretty interesting.
And if you look very carefully to what they're saying, you'll see a little Easter egg here. Or did it already pass? Did it already pass? I think it did. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it did. Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, essentially, the characters can't understand what they're saying. So they're speaking in sort of a wingdings style. And, one of them says Nintendo. Well, it kind of says Nintendo or something.
Close enough.
Here we go. Go for it, Seven.
This village, look at this village. We have a tradition of singing the songs during this speedrun, so you might hear a lot of random stuff.
Oh my gosh, a speedrun sing-along. I love that, actually.
Yeah, I kind of started that tradition on accident. Earlier in the year, me and one of the other top runners were trading the record back and forth, and we were kind of losing our minds, having to watch all the cutscenes over and over. So we just started singing along.
No!
A bunch of them. You went over the pot. It happens.
I did. Well, this is a very good time to explain movement in this game and how it's so weird.
Yeah, it is. So the movement in this game is a lot harder than it looks. And I know it's just like, it doesn't look that hard. You're just running back and forth. It's kind of like your feet are coated in like Crisco cooking oil at all times, is the way I like to describe it. Like, it's just very
That's a really good
slippery
way.
and a very,
I usually say they have butter
awkward
shoes.
Butter shoes, yeah, that works.
Butter shoes.
But what just happened there, though, is we picked up an item called the Translation Gummy, which means we can now just understand the language of anybody in the game. And now we're getting the final character, Doraemon, who is unfortunately dead at the moment, quite literally, which is, that's
Poor
sad.
Doraemon, no.
He's not going to be dead for long, obviously, but... There we go. Yeah, you get like a one-up item for him, and he's revived. Most of this run is going to be played as Sue. There's not really much of a reason for that other than the character select screen defaulting to Sue. So, you save a second to just mash A through it. But later on, Seventh may choose to play as someone else just for fun. We'll see.
Oh, now I have to.
Yeah, now you have to. Pressure's on. Are we gonna get to see Big G %?
Sounds good to me. Oh, what a beautiful jump.
Yeah, that was pretty. Good job. Yeah, so you'll notice there's a lot of back and forthing in this game. Like, we just left the village, we got Doraemon, we're going back in the village. You get very used to taking these lines over and over. One advantage to the door early category is a lot of this backtracking is eliminated. But it just... That category is just rough. Very rough.
Yeah.
Like, you do the whole game out of order, and it's confusing.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We're
We're almost to the first dungeon.
The dungeons are fantastic, actually, in this game. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, agreed.
So what we're doing now is Kaoru explained to us that we need to get some food because we're stranded in this mysterious world and we need food. So we're gonna go get some food. Kaoru mentioned that there is some fruit trees on the other side of the lake here. So the game forces us to go and pick up said fruit, and we never do anything with it. It just sits in your inventory for the rest of the game. So real useful stuff.
Yeah, and you'll notice sometimes when I'm running in a straight line, the character will be turned sideways. That is just me working with the slip and slide of the character. So it just happens sometimes. Because you'll start to turn left, but then you'll start to slide left, and you're like, oh, but I need to go forward. So
It is worth mentioning also that the leaderboard for this game does allow the use of the turbo button, and text in this game can be dismissed as fast as you can push A. Seventh is not playing with a turbo controller, which is that's a choice, but
it's a choice, yeah.
that's certainly a choice.
And this is the second longest text box from the game, so and there we go.
Wonderful. So we're going to meet the villains of the story here in just a moment. Mina and Pune. They're kind of comic relief villains. We really like them in the Doraemon community, though. In the Doraemon 64 community, we're a fan of them.
Hold on just a minute. Huh? Who said that? Mina, you. Correct me if I'm
Oh
wrong.
my gosh, I love them.
I know, right? They're like the Doraemon universe of Team Rocket.
They're perfect.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Oh, the longest text
This is-
box.
Yeah, this is the longest text trigger in the game.
Okay, there we go.
Always a good time.
So many cool gadgets in this game as well. Like that one was like the
So now
pocket
you-
watch that could stop time.
So what Seventh is doing here is sleeping to make it the next day. So in some cases, story triggers won't advance unless you sleep. And you're going to be seeing that a few more times in the run. There's one point later on in the run where we sleep for a week straight, which is, super healthy stuff.
Gotta build our strength before one of the dungeons.
Oh, yeah. So what's going on now is the villains have stolen a sort of relic of the village there, Aberk village, and we're going to go get it back. They have a pretty interesting character arc throughout the game. It starts off with Mina's kind of the mean one, and Pune has a bit more of a conscience, and basically he slowly doesn't really want to, commit crimes and do mean things, and they kind of have an interesting character arc where they very slowly, mildly redeem themselves throughout the course of the
Camera
story.
would be right there. That happens sometimes.
What Seventh is going to do here is he's going to use the invisible paint, which is the only thing it's used for. You turn yourself invisible and you just walk into that crystal.
But yeah, it
A lot
should
of
be
the
noted with the camera.
puzzles.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say a lot of the puzzles in this game are very just find object, use object immediately, or find object, use it pretty quickly. You were saying about the camera, though?
Yeah, so, there you go, great example. So, randomly, the camera, whenever you leave or exit a building, or sometimes a cutscene, will just be in a different spot, and you just kind of have to adapt to it. It's kind of funny. Oh, yep, so that was a camera angle I was not used to right there. That's fine. But also, we had someone ask, do you actually get stronger with sleeping? Kind of. Would you like to explain the mood system for me, Bill, while I focus on this?
Yeah, I can try. So, in this game, there's something called the mood system, and basically all it is the better mood your character's in, the more attack power they have, the more damage they do to enemies and stuff. That's really the only purpose of it. When you sleep, it does replenish your mood, which is good. So in a sense, you do get stronger, I suppose. What brings your mood down is just taking damage. There's a bit of a degree of randomness to it, too. You'll notice on the bottom left corner of the screen that Seventh has 14 crystal objects. Those also improve your mood, but they don't really come into play in this speedrun really at all. It's not really a deal. So we're getting ready to head to the first dungeon here very, very soon.
Okay.
And it's probably, I don't know, I think it might be my second favorite dungeon of the three. It went from being one of the easiest dungeons in the game to being one of the hardest ones, actually, very recently. Seventh found a bunch of stuff in it, and actually a bunch of us kind of got together and just did a massive strat hunt, probably maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and completely changed this game. Like, we gave it a huge facelift in terms of the speedrun. It was a fun time.
That's awesome.
Okay. Whew. The butter shoes almost threw me off a cliff. Okay, that's fine. You may have saw me slide real close to the edge right there.
So there's our first dungeon. This is Helion Ruins. It's pretty short, pretty straightforward. There are some skips in it though, which I'm curious to see if. Look at this dungeon. I'm very curious to see if Seventh will hit these skips. There's one in particular. You kind of really only get one chance at hitting.
Yeah, I'll do
we'll
my
see
best.
We'll see if it happens or not. It only loses about 10 seconds if you miss it, but it skips a whole boss. Yes, the whole boss is 10 seconds.
Ooh.
Which is, that's pretty fun.
There's actually 2 whole skips in this. We're gonna try and go for both. One
And
for
both
the
of
mini
them
boss,
skip
one for the boss.
fights, which is
Man.
kind of interesting. So there is a chance. You know, I'm not going to say anything yet. I'll say it after. All right, we're good. So there is a chance that the game can just
Holding my
soft
breath.
lock and crash when you enter a dungeon.
Oh.
It's a very minor
Yeah.
chance. We don't know exactly
It's
why it
not
happens
from
yet.
spamming the buttons. It's not from holding the control stick in any direction. I've tried many different things, and nope, it's just whenever it feels like it. Oh, hello.
Luckily, it doesn't.
Game
Luckily,
has a mind of its own.
yeah. Luckily, when it does crash, it always happens after you save your game. So we'll be fine either way. We'll just have to, hit the reset button and just get right back into it.
It
But
should be noted,
we
I
hope-
did make
it's pretty rare.
safety saves
So-
for each dungeon, so it's okay. If it does happen, and something horrible goes wrong.
So you'll notice
We are
there that
prepared.
Seventh just picked up a weapon, and those of you who are
Our first
astute
weapon.
will be like, "Hey, that was just a revolver," and yeah, it is.
Display, turn, what? Alright, let's see if I can get there in time.
Very, very good.
And the first weapon we got is gun.
Just
Gun.
just gun. I think the correct term for it is like air pistol or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's the
but
air pistol.
it-
It converts
looks like a
air
gun.
into
It's-
bullets.
It's just a revolver. Like it's little. Oh wow, that worked.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I didn't
We'll
think
take
that
that.
would work, but sure, sure. We like those.
Oh no, there's a big trap on the floor. What are we gonna do? Jump.
Yeah, the intended way of getting over that trap door is to use an item that freezes the traps in the dungeon, but you can just jump over it. I remember earlier this year in the door early category, there you can skip a lot of different things, and we spent a solid 3 or 4 hours trying to find a way to skip this key right here. We never could
Oh,
figure it out, but so coming up very shortly is the mini boss skip, which Seventh pioneered, more or less.
Yeah.
It was
And
thought
I'm
to
kind
be
of the
something
worst
that wasn't
one at
really.
it. But we'll do our best.
It was thought to be something that wasn't really possible in the run, but Seventh proved that wrong. We had every top runner has a slightly different way that they go about it, so we'll see what Seventh does here. Basically, Mina and Pune are gonna knock over these little gravestones, who then come to life and try to attack you with spears or little swords, and you can just run straight past them, and if you line yourself up with the door just right, they'll just shove you through the door, and you don't have to fight them at all. We'll see what happens here.
See.
Going for the head-on method.
Time.
I approve.
Oh, sad. All right, hold on. We might get the reverse push from the one on the left. Yeah.
We did.
Okay, cool.
we got the backup. Let's go.
Ideally,
we're
you
at
want to
the
get hit by the
actual
one on
boss.
the right and get it first try, but I was like slightly off. It's a little precise, but the backup is not bad. A little more forgiving.
So now we're at the boss, and this boss is kind of weird. It's sort of not even really an enemy as much as it is like a Indiana Jones trap.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's a good way to
it's
put
just
it.
like a barrier sort of thing. Starts off with you having to hit 3 switches in the correct order to make a bridge. The order can be found in the dungeon on a wall, but you know we're speedrunning. We already know the order. We don't need to stop and look at that. We can just hit the buttons and move on. We'll see if 7th gets this skip up here, though. This is the boss skip. You can jump around the trigger for this fight and skip doing the fight entirely. Let's see what happens.
Woo!
Oh! Let's go, dude. Yeah. I'll be real, didn't expect to see that. It's finicky. That's a
same.
finicky trick. Yeah, real finicky. So, all right, sure.
And now tree day. Oh, tree day. Let's go.
So now we gotta sleep twice, and I gotta explain the days. So once 7th gets outside here, you'll look at the top right corner of the screen, and you'll notice that there is a clock ticking down, but also there's like a little logo or symbol in the middle of it that looks like a tree. And basically, there's 7 days in each week in the game, and each day corresponds to a different element or thing. We need it to be tree day right now, because in order to access the next area, we need to do some platforming on some mushrooms. And the specific effect that tree day has on the overworld is it makes foliage, or, you know, in this game's case, just these 1 mushrooms larger, so that you can actually platform up them to get where you need to go. So we're gonna run back across the lake, and we're gonna make our way to Sapphire Falls, which is kind of the sort of the hub overworld area of the second chunk of the game, and we're going to be spending the most time here. This is I have no idea how you made that, but sure.
Whistle, whistle, whistle. Nothing happened. It was all for your entertainment, GDQ. Taking the finest lines.
So this section of the game is notoriously a bit of a slog, if I'm being real. We're about to enter Branny Village, which you'll get real used to
It's
it
a
real
village.
fast. It's certainly a village. You'll be seeing a lot of it.
It's a very strangely designed village. You'll see
It
in a moment.
really is. It really, really is. I think my problem with it is just the verticalness of it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I won't spoil it, but we'll get there.
So now we have the bean. You'll notice 7th picked up like a bean. We're going to be planning that later, and it's going to create the real final boss of the game, which is just a beanstalk we have to climb up twice. But before we can go into Branny Village here, we have to talk to this little NPC guy here. And they've dropped a necklace or a pendant in the water. And luckily they give us a piece of candy that allows us to breathe underwater, which is that's a cool thing.
Very generous.
They landed
Very
on it.
generous. And then we go right on in.
And I hope you like the jumping, because jumping up slopes is slightly faster in this game. So get your ya ready in chat. You're gonna need it.
So, if you're thinking this village is kind of hideous, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's very lackluster. This village has probably had more reroutes than any other section of the game over the years, because we get to bring something kind of interesting into play here in just a moment. There are NPCs in this game, obviously, and in villages, they, kind of like Majora's Mask, they move around based on the clock. And there's a couple of NPCs we need to talk to in a very specific order. So hopefully they're in the correct places here in a moment. We'll see. The time looks correct. Yeah, you're entering the canyon at around 10 a.m., so we should be okay.
All right, now we swap to fast. Okay.
So what Seventh did there is he switched the flow of time from slow to fast. So there's the first NPC. If you just reload the area a couple times, they appear right there. Nice. So NPCs in this game have infinitely extending like interaction boxes, like vertically speaking. So Seventh just talked to that one through the ground, and they were like way down below, which is, we call that floor Tessie. Saves like 2 seconds. It's a meme strat, but it's a fun one. So coming up here fairly shortly is actually the hardest skip in the game, at least in my opinion. Maybe not the hardest, but no, it's the hardest, I would say. You do get more chances at it though, so it's not like a one and done sort of situation.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah,
but what's going on here is one of the
tree day was just to talk to Tessie through the floor, by the way.
Yes.
That's all it was for. Just to save that time.
So what's going on here is one of the villagers is sick, and there's an herb that we need to go retrieve from a very dangerous area. I say dangerous very sarcastically. It's not really dangerous at all. And yeah, we're gonna go grab that in a second. But in order to get into the dangerous area to retrieve the herb, we need to get a key from the chief of the village, which means climbing all the stairs again.
Yay.
This is why we really like Granny Village. Yeah, that worked out.
Back to slow, so I don't die.
Yeah, so at this point we don't have to mess with the. So that's a surprise tool for later. So coming up is what we call maze skip. There's a huge maze you have to go through, and we still will have to go through it backwards, to be clear. But you can skip having to go through it forwards, which saves quite a bit of time. If you just clip into it the right way, we'll see how many tries it takes here. Even if it takes 8 or 10 tries, it'll still save quite a bit of time. So what you do is you just jump at that little seam there, and eventually you'll just squeeze right through and into the wall.
There it is. Off camera.
Cool. Yeah, the camera angle has to be perfect to hit that seam just the right way. So that allows us to just clip and run straight to the center of the maze. And so we don't have to solve the maze forwards and backwards, which is it's a cool time save. That's actually a pretty recent find too. Maybe 6 or 7 months ago it was found, something like that.
Ooh. Trying to keep really sharp lines through here is very difficult with the buttery shoes. Just hitting a few corners. There we go. All right.
Nicely done.
Now one of the hardest platforming. Right. I would say the second hardest platforming. This
yeah, second hardest. This one's more annoying though, weirdly.
Yeah. Right about. Oh, first try. Thank you. Okay. No. Mostly first try.
There you go. yeah, the hitboxes on those leaves are very, very bad. So we're gonna go
Like,
back into
they're
Granny
a
Village
lot
again.
smaller than they look. Yeah, there's a lot that happens here in Granny Village. Just to unlock the second dungeon.
This is basically like where 2/3 of the game is, honestly. Like this sort of
Yeah.
area. Although the reward is nice, the second dungeon it's a good time.
There we go. Oof, okay, made it.
So now we get the distinct honor of sleeping for a week straight.
Yay.
Everybody get your counting ready. One sleep.
Two sleeps.
There's 3. There is technically a way to skip doing all these sleeps. It involves something that we call tornado skip. It only saves 10 seconds, and it's extremely difficult. It's not worth it.
Hey.
And the reason we're sleeping for 7 days straight is in order to advance the story flag, we only needed to sleep once, but we also needed to be wind day to continue. Now, it was already wind day before we slept, but we needed to sleep in order to advance the story. So, yeah. So we just had to sleep 7 days to make it wind day again, which is, good stuff.
Little unfortunate, but you do what you gotta do to go fast. So we just got one more mission to complete. We can get to the second
Before we
dungeon.
can, the best dungeon in the game, in my opinion, at least.
Oh yeah, I love it, dude.
It's just a lot of fun. It's got some cool platforming. The boss is kind of lame, but honestly, all the bosses in this game.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite bosses.
I mean, it looks cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty interesting section of padding. Basically, that particular character there, their kite is broken, and we want to fix their kite. And he tells us that he saw something back at the lake that maybe can help fix the kite. And for those of you wondering, wait, the lake, like back at the beginning of the game? Are we seriously walking all the way back to the lake? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're walking all the way back to the lake. One advantage to the door early category is you can bypass a lot of this sort of stuff. Oh, and for some reason the game forces you to play as Nobi for this section as well. Which
Nobi was like, I can do it. Trust me.
Who are you gonna play as for the rest of the run after you regroup with everybody, Seth?
I don't know. Play some Big G, play some Doraemon, and get some Smeech action. What do y'all want?
Yeah, what character are we filling, gang?
Ooh, choices.
Yeah, we can choose.
All the characters do the exact same thing in this game, so no worries.
Yeah, there's no. We'll lose like
All the
2
other
seconds to
Doraemon
like scroll the
games,
character
the
select
first-
screen. That's it.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Ooh, okay. But yeah, first and the third game, like everyone has their own specialties, but in this game, everyone kind of acts the same.
I'm kind of feeling Big G %. We
Feeling
haven't
Big
seen
G?
Big G today.
Alright. Get some Big G going on. I mean, the back half of the game is kind of Big G's thing, you know?
Right. So coming up here is the longest cutscene in the game at 57.4 seconds. I timed them all.
This is the
Yep.
hydration break. Good one. That is true. There is one difference to the characters, and that is where the bullets spawn when you shoot the gun and where they throw their grenade from. And Big G is a little bit taller than everyone else and holds the gun out a little bit farther. So Big G and Doraemon can shoot.
There's also technically one
farther.
other difference.
Oh yeah?
There's technically one other very minor difference. Every character has a slight advantage with a specific weapon, like a slight damage modifier. It's not enough to make a difference in the speedrun at all, but it does exist. Oh, we're going with Doraemon then. All right.
Just for now.
Let's see how it is. Oh,
Once we get to the
later.
dungeon or go to Big G. Yeah. I figure, we'll get a few more characters to show up.
I might as well see the
We're
title.
playing
character.
Doraemon. Gotta play some Doraemon. Just a little bit.
So you'll notice the bridge got destroyed and Nobi is stranded. For those of you wondering, wait, are we seriously wandering all the way there? Even though we literally just wandered in that direction? Yep. Yes,
Yep.
we are. Yep. This game wasn't haphazardly made at all.
So we're gonna need some WAs in chat. The big
Oh yeah, we need all the
ready.
WAs in chat. This is probably the best cutscene in the game. We're going to use an item called the Voice Solidifier, which does exactly what it sounds like. It solidifies your voice. And in this case, it's a big old wah, and it turns into a bridge, which is, it's pretty fascinating.
Woo.
Kind of a cool concept, I suppose.
Alright, that's enough Doraemon. Back to Big G.
There we go. So now we are finally ready to go to the second dungeon. Finally. Well, we got to get there, but we're heading in. And on the way, though, we're going to pick up an item called the Scud Shoes, which are required to get into the dungeon. And it increases your movement speed on the overworld, which is pretty cool.
Okay, there we go.
I think all the top runners complain about that beanstalk.
Oh, yeah.
It's just terrible. So unfortunately, for those of you who are very saddened about this, this is our last time climbing up Branny Village. I know, it's just yeah, it's so disappointing. I know.
Oh, Big G.
It's our final ascent up a very kind of brownish red nothingness. I don't know how else to describe this place.
Like, there's a huge field out in the front. Why did you not build your village there?
True. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Bloody. Maybe they
So
get a
now
lot
we're gonna
on
repair.
rain day.
We're gonna repair the kite, go grab the Scud Shoes, and then head into Ruby Canyon, which is where the second dungeon is located. And it's pretty interesting because there's 3 dungeons in the game, but the third act of the game, the final act, if you will, is very short compared to the rest of the game. Very, very short, in fact. There's the Scud Shoes. You'll notice I think it increases movement speed by 1.5 times, if I'm not mistaken.
Seems about right.
So right here, we're gonna wait for this tornado to despawn, and then we're gonna just hug the wall and squeeze our way into the canyon.
In there, Big G. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so there is a way to skip that tornado entirely, and which also skips having to sleep 7 days. But it involves intentionally making yourself game over on a very specific pixel And it's just not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. It's to give you some perspective. World record contenders don't even go for that strategy. It's not good. So this is Ruby Canyon. Ruby Canyon is kind of a maze. There's a lot of sort of very mazy looking sections in this game. And the object here, we need to hit a couple of switches, which is gonna, raise and lower some rocks that will essentially allow us to get to the second dungeon, which is Dianeth Ruins. Which, like I said earlier, probably the best dungeon in the game. Yeah, the camera did some scuff there.
Man, I just love a lot of the music in this game. I know it's like a little bit simple, but very catchy to me.
Yeah, we've made a bunch of songs that we just, as a community, we tend to just sing them when we run this game for whatever reason.
Oh, please let me through. Nice. No, I got trolled. That's okay.
This is one of the weirder parts of the game to me because you walk up to the entrance of the dungeon and you get a cutscene here where it's like, okay, here's the dungeon. Look at it. And we're like, cool, there's the dungeon. Let's go in the dungeon. That sounds like fun. So then the cutscene ends. And then you take like 5 more steps forward. And then it gives you another cutscene where it's like, okay, now we're going to open the door.
Oh.
And you're just like, why didn't you just open the door the first time around?
Alright, time for my favorite speedrun song.
Oh, good.
Dungeon second, dungeon second, dungeon. Dungeon second, dungeon. Alright, we gotta swap to rubber gloves.
Yeah, so Seventh picked up a weapon there. Some people call them the rubber gloves, some people call them the push gloves. The only function of them in the game is to push blocks. And we're only going to be using them twice. That's it.
They are not for washing dishes.
But you gotta have them.
It gives you a lot of strength. It would probably break the dishes. Do not use for washing dishes.
Alright. So our first mission here in Dianeth Ruins is to get a key that will allow us to get the best weapon in the Doraemon series. Objectively, there's no debate on that. None. I think.
I'm just gonna push this for safety. Because like we said before.
You can save a couple seconds by just going in and out of this dungeon, but it could soft lock the game. So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna push it.
Oh, barely.
You almost got it.
I did.
You're a madman. So that's the Faint Bang Grenade, which is definitely the strongest weapon in Doraemon 3. Very useful in this one as well. Very good weapon. Oh, nice. Nice first try switch. Yeah, this dungeon has some very pretty movement when it goes well. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if Big G can just run over those or not. We never tested.
Yeah, I don't know
Big
either.
G.
Oh, thank you, Big G. Jumped too early. Okay. Yep. Okay, Big G can run over that. I just tested it. We're all good. Ooh. Okay.
This is a pretty funny little cutscene here. Pay attention to this boulder rolling. I like what it does. It's just like, boop. It's like, I don't want to be in that wall. We're getting ready to come up to the hardest platforming section of the whole game, and a room that a lot. If you ever learn to speedrun this game, this is a room that you'll spend a lot of time in. It's definitely a good room to hone your abilities in. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. And I can't stress enough how much easier 7th is making this movement look than it really is. It's super awkward feeling. Super awkward. Really? Ah.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Dude. He didn't even kill the robot for safety. Dude. What a madman. Right, so here's the second boss. Pretty strange boss. Easiest boss of the game as well. Which is saying something.
Look at
they're all pretty easy.
He's amazing.
Big G's mood must be really low.
It just wasn't hitting. I don't know why.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's the boss.
All right,
It's already defeated.
Oh no! Ah, that's big.
Missed the jump. No big deal. You're good. So now we're going on to the third act of the game, which is definitely the shortest chunk of the game. But, you know, final boss is in that chunk. It's a pretty interesting chunk. There's some pretty cool movement and stuff going on, especially in the third dungeon. And luckily, this chunk is not near as padded out as the middle sort of section of the game that we just got through. Starts off by us going in this cave here, which is called Amber Cave, but on the world map it looks like it says Taffy Car, so I've always just called it Taffy Car, which is just...
It really does.
It looks like it says Taffy Car. Like, I don't know. Which is just two words that don't belong anywhere near each other.
Taffy Car.
So like a few areas of the game, this area is also a maze. This one's a very short one, though. It's a little more confusing in the 100% category. We have to collect all the items and stuff, but it's not that bad.
It's
We're going to go into the final village. The final village in the game, Bagona Village. We're not going to be there very long at all. Just two little trips in and out.
Again,
Are you gonna go for that cursed? Are you gonna go for that cursed jump I saw you doing earlier today?
Cursed? I think by cursed you mean consistent. Thank you.
So that's
Sounds like the answer might be yes.
So that's it. That's a yes. Good to know. So I mentioned way earlier on in this run that the villains go through a sort of character arc. This is one of the first scenes where you really start to see it. What's happening here is Mina has sprayed the villagers, or rather Pune does, sprays the villagers with this sort of mind control gas to like get them to do stuff for them. And Pune really doesn't like this. Like, he realizes, hey, this is a pretty scummy thing to do. And like, you can, even if you can't read, you know, read the actual words there, you can see he's like, he's not very happy about doing this. You start to see some of the delicious lore and character development happening there. Alright, so this is Lily Valley. The last sort of
I love the look of the zone.
overworld area in the game.
Nice big city above the clouds. Okay.
All right, let's see what you do here, bro. That's that's crazy. That jump is so much harder than it looks. Or maybe it's not now. Maybe Seventh just found a way to do it. You know, that's speedrunning for you. So what we just grabbed there was the clouds in a can, which is it's clouds in a can. Not,
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It's like a spray can full of clouds, and you spray it, and then there's clouds. So, basically, you talk to that villager there. That villager tells you, hey, I can let you back in the dungeon, or let you into the dungeon, but you need to go back to the village first, and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to do that now, but you're going to stop and talk to this dude. There you go. To get an item that we need to get in.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think you had made that. That was a little early.
Me neither. Oh,
It worked.
that was so
It worked.
early. Oh.
Yeah, you can see how much shorter this section of the game is, because this is we're already getting ready to go to the dungeon. We're coming into the village. We're gonna grab Kaoru and you know, I didn't even mention the other dude. We call him the professor. He's just there.
Big G.
Yeah, but anytime they join your party, you're getting ready to go to a dungeon. So we're already on our way to the third dungeon. This third act sort of just wraps the game up real fast.
It helps that you have the gun shoes as well, just running so fast.
It does help, for sure. So it's worth mentioning that, optimally speaking, there is a slightly faster. There's a slightly faster way of dealing with the third dungeon, where you can actually wrong warp out of the first dungeon to immediately warp to the end of the third dungeon. It requires a frame-perfect trick that we will not be going for today. Yeah, and that's accounted for in the estimate as well, just to be clear. But it's pretty interesting. This game has wrong warps.
It has a problem.
It has a lot of them, actually, yeah. And you'll see the item used to do them as soon as we get in this dungeon. It's a big pink door that's just off to the side that if you walk into it, you just collect it. You know, you just put a whole door in your pocket.
Woo!
And no dungeon soft locks. Cool.
Oh, you say that as we soft lock. Let's go.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah,
I've never seen a
sure
soft
did.
lock like with the screen still moving.
Yeah, hold on. Apologies.
That's fascinating. I've never seen it soft lock on that screen before. It usually goes black and then just stays black. Fascinating.
Yeah, I've had it happen a few times. There we go. We're back. But like we said, it can
made
just
it.
soft lock. Anytime you enter a dungeon, there's not much you can do about it. But luckily, it like usually saves before anything.
So the third dungeon here, Hyphus Ruins, it's pretty short compared to the other dungeons. It does have a couple interesting little tidbits about it. Thing number one is we're going to have a very easy mini boss here in a second, where we actually fight the villains. The only time in the game you actually fight them. They're going to be in a giant frog mech, At least that's what we think it is. We call it the frog. It might not be a frog. Sort of looks like one, though.
Yeah, it's a frog. Come on. Mecha frog. Alright, let's see if I can get the spacing correct.
Yeah, this dungeon's more or less just boss rush. Like, that's basically the end of the game. You fight this boss.
Barely.
You fight
Okay,
the
nice.
dungeon boss. And
Whee!
Done.
Goodbye! I love the champions' gloves. They're so cool. They're probably my favorite. Alright.
Ooh. All right. I see you skipping the second row of platforms there. I see that. We got the sauce.
Around the corner for the text. Smack that for safety. There is a way to not watch this cutscene, but it's very hard to set up. A little bit.
This room.
Our favorite room, right?
Oh, definitely.
Hello? Oh, okay. Ooh. Can't go. Okay, now I can go. Okay. Oh, it almost got me.
Yeah, the pattern of those little ball sphere enemy things are completely random. They can just knock you out of the air at any point. I've seen many runs die right at the end to just getting repeatedly knocked off of those platforms into the void right at the end of the run. So this is the boss of the third dungeon. Good old Ball Man. Ball Man's pretty weird. Ball Man has 3 phases. Phase 1, Ball Man runs towards you. Phase 2, Ball Man has some kind of existential crisis. I guess that's what you could call it. Just sort of scatters
this boss
into
is
a...
really hard. It's super RNG. Like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to hit things. No, I'm just kidding. It's really not that bad. It's here in a moment.
You basically can't kill it during phase 2, but on phase 3 it'll all gather together, and you can do a quick kill where you just throw a grenade right in the center. And
Uh-oh.
there's a
What?
hole.
Oh,
Oh no!
I didn't kill it. Uh-oh.
Dare I say that's a never seen that before moment. Okay, you got it.
We're fine.
You already switched, and you already switched to the gun. Yeah. You need the gun for later
A little
anyway. It
backup
works out. That was
shots. No big deal.
totally intentional. So now we're getting ready to go to the final boss. Pretty much right after this dungeon, it just warps you straight there. So we have all 3 of the crystals we need to get to the Temple of Light. And we're going to place them on these little
I jumped
pedestals.
over it.
And then it's going to warp us to the Temple of Light, where the final boss is. And to be real, one of the weirdest final bosses I've ever seen in a game. It's up there.
So true.
It's not like awkward. It's just a very strange. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know what to
when they
think of
made
it, really.
It's
Yeah.
I don't either. Yeah, it's very like it's kind of a nothing burger almost.
Mhm.
You know, you're thinking, is it going to be a big dragon? Is it going to be some sort of evil overlord or a monster?
Like in the first game, you had the big evil wizard, right? Could be
Yeah.
something like that, right?
And I won't spoil what it is in the third game, but that one makes sense too. This one, on the other hand, is just like,
Yeah, because
you know,
it's completely normal.
this one's just like, there it is. It's a tower.
There it is. Our final boss from our favorite game.
It's just a tower. I think the canonical name for it is the obelisk. And that's all it is. It's, you know, got about as much personality as some old carpet.
And we're trapped in a cage match with a giant tower.
So here's the finishing out of that character arc that was mentioned earlier. The obelisk fires, and Pune jumps in the way and sacrifices himself to save Mina, which kind of makes her come around to the whole, maybe I shouldn't be evil thing. All right, good luck, 7th.
Thank you.
So this boss has 3 phases. Phase 1, you just shoot the little eyes that are on the side of it. Phase 2, you destroy the sections. Phase 3, you destroy the bottom section. Time will end when the whole bottom section of it turns red. I'll give a bit of a warning on that.
No!
Maybe
Oh, that's okay.
Interesting. Yeah, we're in a rather precarious situation now. I'd be curious to see how that affects Big G's mood.
Yeah, same. Big G
we'll
can
see
be
what happens.
quite an angry fella. Oh, I did miss one. Thought I heard 4. It's okay.
All right, so yeah, so that takes care of phase 1. Phase 2, we have to destroy the top and middle section. You'll notice 7th here is switching to the Faint Bang Grenade and also using an item called the Upgrade Gas, which just increases your attack power for 10 seconds. Hopefully, the decrease in mood didn't...
The decrease in
Unfortunately.
mood, so sad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the decrease in mood killed the quick kill there, which is rather unfortunate. Now we have to ride the platforms
a
back
little bit
up.
harder. Gotta kill that. Ooh, don't shoot me, please.
Oh my goodness.
There it is.
There it goes. Okay.
I think Big G gets a little angry. There we go.
So
Let's
here
see.
comes-
Oh
so
wow, that's
time's
not a lot of
coming up.
damage here either.
Just keep going. Just keep going. You got this. And time.
Time.
Yeah, GG.
Oh, that's a PB for me. Let's go.
Oh, wow, nice.
Did you say a 101?
Just under.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. That's actually that's an excellent run. Actually, that's really good.
Let's
That's,
go.
Nice job.
Yeah. Wonderful. Fantastic.
I skipped a whole minute
Yeah,
in
that's
my
still-
PB. Let's go.
Yeah.
My PB was 102.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
So that's
Let's go.
so that's Doraemon 2. It's definitely
Yeah.
a very chill speed game if you can't tell. Very very relaxed throughout.
Mhm.
There are more frantic categories that are not event safe in the slightest.
yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing that off.
Yeah, glad to. Thanks for having me.
And I would say, tell us where to find you, but I believe both of you are going to be right back, huh?
Oh yeah,
Correct.
be right back on.
Yeah. So chat, sorry for spoiling that. We're doing a little bit of a swap.
Yeah.
But we're going to be right back in just a couple minutes with the third game in this series with these same lovely runners and commentators just switching places. So hang on, get a drink, stand up, stretch. Also, hey, remember that GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, returns August 18th through 25th. Use !FF in Twitch chat to check out the schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to the most. And I will see you back very shortly. Welcome back to As Seen on TV on Games Done Quick Hotfix. I'm Nichole Goodnight, and we are about to dive into our third Doraemon game of the night. But first, I've got a couple quick announcements for you. One, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix for more info on our weekly shows and weekly specials. And also, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix like this one. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel. And also, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I again hope you had a lovely day or night or yesterday, depending on your time zone. But now let's go ahead and get into our third game in this series, Doraemon 3, with our runner, Kefka14. Go ahead and take it away. We did a little swap. It's great.
All right, so hello everybody. Apologies that I'm kind of like facing this direction. My TV's there. It is what it is. But hello, I'm Kefka14. I've been moderating the Doraemon 64 community for a few years. really great to finally get these games on. Something Games Done Quick related. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and to get the whole trilogy on here with some of my closest friends, it's just an amazing feeling. I'm also joined on commentary today with Seventh Armstrong, who's just running Doraemon 2. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
So, yeah, we're going to be doing Doraemon 3. It's a much different game than the other two. It's the shortest of the three, and we like to call it Doraemon Hero. For those of you familiar with Bomberman Hero, you'll understand why pretty quickly.
Very true.
Let's
I'm looking
go
forward
ahead and
to
jump right in.
this game myself.
It's a fascinating one. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it, though. In 3, 2, 1. Say again. Okay. And let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. So, right out of the gate, we have things to worry about in this run. There's this weird thing that happens where if you press start to skip a cutscene and you press it too early, if you go fast, the game can just do this weird thing where we're no longer able to skip the cutscene. I don't really know why it does that, but it does. So, yeah, that's fun. So starting off immediately, we're playing as Nobi, and we are in Nobi's town, hence the name of the game. You're seeing the Japanese name of the game on screen, which is Nobita no Machi SOS, which translates to Nobi's Town SOS. Basically, the plot of the game is Nobi's hometown here has been transported to another dimension, and all of the various denizens are trapped in some kind of intergalactic goo type of stuff. And, yeah. Fun stuff, fun times.
I also just
We're doing
love
the
the way the
prologue.
characters run in this game.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy looking. So right here at the beginning of the game, you'll notice it automatically switched us to Doraemon, but we switched back to Nobi and we equipped the good old gun, which is a fun thing that exists in this series.
Doraemon classic gun.
Yeah, just gun. But the first thing we got to do here is we just got to talk to a couple of these little pixie butterfly type things, which once we talk to them, we can leave the town and start the game proper. Now, this game, like I said, is a lot different than the others. It has a level select screen. And we're going to start off by going to the first level here. And the goal of the first world here is basically to gather 4 different crystals so that we can unlock the boss area. You'll notice I picked up a green sort of object just now and a red object. The red object was health. It was a heart. That wasn't obvious. But the green objects that look kind of like cans of bug spray, we just call them sprays. And a large part of this game is based upon just gathering all these sprays. Now, what they do will be more apparent later.
To complete the game.
You need a lot of sprays. A lot of them. We'll be getting more into what they do later. You do start the game, though, with the Anywhere door already in your inventory, which is a lovely feature. Now, level 2 here, you'll notice, hey, the game got a lot darker. Hey, Kefka, I can't see. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's an item that brightens this area. It makes it to where you actually can see. I just have the brightness turned up on my TV. It takes time to use the item and stuff, so it's just dark. In the meantime, I'll describe what I'm doing in dramatic fashion. Right now, I'm doing some Ace and some SRM, and I just nailed a frame-perfect, double-pixel-perfect jump right there. It was wonderful. You are missing every bit of it. Yeah, it's lovely.
But yeah,
so you'll notice the text boxes.
You would have to collect like extra sprays to get the item to make the place light up. But since we're going fast, don't need it.
Yeah. So you'll notice that with text boxes, I'm not able to just mash through them. Text boxes in this game have a really awkward sort of rhythm to them, almost like a heartbeat, like do 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 do, in order to dismiss them quickly. It's very strange. So you'll notice that sometimes I'm just defeating enemies and they're dropping items. So far, we've gotten perfect RNG in this run. I'm sure that won't last, but we'll see. Yeah, everybody's been dropping sprays, which is lovely. So coming to the third level here, this is one of the very few levels that we're going to be revisiting way later in the run. There's not a whole lot of backtracking in this run, unlike Doraemon 2, and even 1 has quite a bit more backtracking than this game. But we're going to be doing some actual movement tech here. You'll notice there I just jumped up a slope and slid up it There's some pretty weird momentum quirks in this game that you can abuse to do some interesting sort of stuff. We're going to do another slope boost here, like that. Fly right on up. And we're going to be doing a third one here to go fight a mini-boss, see if I get it. I did, nice. And we're going to run up here, and we're going to fight this
Slope
mini-boss.
boosts are always so funny looking.
Also, the music in this game is fantastic, for those of you who have never played this game. It just sounds really lovely.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So going on to the 4th level of World 1, and we're getting close to the end of World 1. This is one of 2 water levels in the game. We love those, right? So we're going to jump into the water here, and we're actually going to switch to Doraemon. Doraemon is one of the 2 fastest swimmers in the game, and it saves us a little bit of time to go ahead and switch to Doraemon. And then we're going to use our first sprays. Now, you'll notice I scrolled to a sort of a blue inventory slot there. Basically, you start this game already having all of Doraemon's secret gadgets. And in order to use them, you have to sort of cleanse the interdimensional goop off of them with the sprays, is kind of how the mechanic works, canonically speaking, which is
Yep.
very strange, but sure. You'll notice here there's 4 sprays in the water. We'll be grabbing those. A huge part of this route is just getting good spray drop RNG and gathering as many of them as you can that are in your path. And this is actually part of our route as well. We'll come back out of this door here, and we're going to grab these 4 sprays again because they respawn. And then we're going to leave the level, but come back in. It's actually faster to just warp out of the level and then come right back in than it is to swim back up out of the sort of tunnel that we swam down into. Coming up here is a fun little boost strat found by a runner named BDL Crusher. We just go boop, like that. Saves like half a second or something. It's fun. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to redeem my favorite item in video games. Those of you who are somewhat familiar with me, this item is my profile picture as well. Made by 7th Armstrong, in fact, as well. Also, I noticed a Nanya in the chat. Shout outs to Nanya. Nanya is sort of our community champion, so to speak.
Sure. Nanya holds the world record in multiple categories, multiple Doraemon games.
So coming into the boss level here. The boss level is pretty fun. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do that jump. Oh, I made it, thank God. This is muscle memory.
Oh.
Yeah, that saves like 0.2 seconds.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, I shouldn't have even went for it. Oh, well. Yeah, this level's quite short. We're going to see if we can catch this cycle here, hit the switch, and then we're going to be fighting the first boss, which is definitely the easiest boss in the game. Almost an auto-scroller, even, if I'm being real. Wow, we have gotten perfect RNG so far. So here is the first boss.
Yeah, just as a reminder. Oh, it's good.
Oh, no, go ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say, just as a reminder, like all these spray drops from all these enemies, that's not guaranteed. So if you don't get these sprays, you gotta route in more sprays to finish the game to unlock the items you need. So it's very important for going fast getting these drops.
Oh, I got smacked. That's all right. We're not going to be playing as Doraemon anymore in this run after this boss. So, yeah, and we're going to look away from the explosion that the boss does because it saves time because the game lags really badly. And, you know, cool people don't look at explosions anyway. So we're just going to stare in the opposite direction.
Oh, I should be clear, the spray drop is not like a rare thing, but...
It's like a 50-50 chance.
I guess that's, yeah, close to coin flip. Yeah.
So the fact that we've gotten all sprays so far, still pretty impressive in a weird way. So now we have unlocked Sue, and we're going to be playing as Sue for hopefully the entire run. We'll see what happens. Another spray drop, wow. Sue has the fastest ground movement speed in the game next to Sneech, who has the same movement speed. So here we have redeemed and used the first
unlike in Doraemon 2, all the characters have different like jump, swim, run abilities. So very important to choose the right character for the right situation.
Weird movement there, that's all right. these guys are in the path, I'll usually get them. They're kind of RNG as to what position they'll have, and they were directly in the path, so I figured I'd just go ahead and get them. We get a spray drop, and we did. Since we're doing so good on sprays, I'm actually going to forego farming those two, and we're going to head on in here. Now, the object of World 2 is to destroy a couple computers, 3 in total, to dispel a barrier that's around the boss level of this world. But before we leave this level, and then I get 2 hearts, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it was perfect for a while.
Some safety health. Not the worst thing in the world. What we do in this level is, before we leave, we go and we farm quite a bit of sprays that are just floating around here. There we go. 27. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. So now we're going to the, obligatory volcano stage. You'll notice a meter on the top right corner of my screen. That's sort of like a heat meter. If it runs down to the end, we'll basically have a heat stroke. There's no threat of that at all, because we're going to be going so fast it won't matter. There is an item you can use that just gets rid of it entirely, but yeah. So we also have a fan weapon here, and this is the only thing it's used for. That's it. We are now done with the fan weapon. Just use it to fan those flames, and oh wow, I've never done that before. So normally the game expects you to wait for these lava plumes to stop firing, but we can simply jump over them in most cases, which is really nice. Like this, we just jump right over. Coming up through here, we're going to be talking to a particular character that we'll be seeing quite a bit of later in the game. Well, compared to other things. The game is quite short. I don't really know what this character's name actually is. I've always called him the engineer. So we'll just stick with that.
Good enough.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and re-equip the grenade here. This is a really good time to do that because we have to wait on this particular one. That particular lava chute is on a slope. We can't jump over it. And we would, even if we could jump over it, we would have to wait for this one anyway, because if we run into this one, it'll shoot us off the edge and we'll lose a ton of time. But the goal here is to just make that platform cycle there, which is pretty easy to make. It can definitely go wrong. So I was waiting until after to say it was easy, just to be safe. And we're going to redeem the jackhammer. Drill a little hole in the wall there. Come in here. We're going to kill that guy. Do that. And of course it was a heart drop. Why wouldn't it be? Now we're going to the most important level in the run. We have different names for this in the community. I personally call it the Toy Factory. This is going to be where we're going to get most of our sprays in the run. We're going to do a tiny bit of farming here. Nothing too egregious. And 100%, we'd be spending like 7 minutes here. Just collecting the same group of objects over and over. But luckily, in any percent, that's not really a problem. The first thing we need to do, though, is we need to revive a computer. For some reason, a first aid kit works for that. Don't really know why, but we won't argue with it. We're going to jump on this little conveyor belt here. Work our way back over. We're going to grab these 2 sprays again. Then we're going to come down here and grab those 3 sprays. Now, you'll notice we just got 5 sprays in a row.
Farming in this zone.
Oh, it's wonderful. This farming round is excellent, actually. Cool. Then we're going to come in here. We're going to destroy the computer in this level. Boom. Grab the single spray up there. Come back out, and I'm actually going to take a safety check on my account. 33. We need to leave this level with 45. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab 1, 2. And we're going to die on purpose, which respawns all the sprays. We are currently at 38. 39, 40. 41, 42, 43. And then we're just going to grab these last 2 on this spring. Like so. And we're going to get out of here. And we're good to go on sprays for the rest of the game now, which is great. I need quiet time for just a second. Of course I missed. quiet time's not over yet. I missed a second time. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So what I just did there, it's not really that hard of a skip. It's one of those things that either you get it first try or it just goes wrong over and over. Feels like one of those kinds of things. Normally you have to go in a bunch of different directions there to activate a bunch of different directions that you can go in, essentially, to open a door, but you can just skip all of it by throwing a grenade over that gap to hit the switch. So here we're going to use the good old clouds in a can. They make their triumphant return. We're going to try to get a pretty tricky little grenade throw here. I think I got it first try. I did. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. It hits a switch down below. The angle for it's kind of awkward. Then we're going to go to the second boss of the game that we have dubbed as a community the Gundam. But I am going to go ahead and take a couple safety heals. And we're going to switch to the weapon we need to fight the Gundam with, which is the good old gun. And then we're going to go fight the Gundam. And this boss used to be one of the hardest bosses of the game, with a ton of RNG and nonsense you had to deal with. And a couple years ago, maybe about a year ago, I did a smaller marathon, and the staff just vanished after my run was over, and I just stayed on stream for like 40 extra minutes, and I was like, well, I need to entertain chat somehow. So I just went through the game, and we just strat hunted with chat, and we found this strat.
Sounds like a great time.
Oh, it kind of was, honestly. It was me and another Doraemon 3 runner. We just chilled, and we found a quick kill, and we made the most inconsistent mess of a boss in the game 100% consistent, which is pretty cool. And that's Gundam. We will be fighting Gundam a second time later. It's the only boss you have to fight a second time. And it's a slightly harder version. By slightly harder, I mean identical, but moves faster, which doesn't really matter to us. So now we're going to World 3. This is where the game starts to get a little more confusing, especially for somebody that can't read Japanese. The game gets quite confusing to play through, especially since there's not really any good guides on the internet, with the exception of my any percent tutorial and some community resources. Just to be honest, there's no really good guides for it on game FAQs or anything like that. But you'll notice here we've actually entered a town with NPCs, so we do have to talk to a few random characters. So first there was the engineer that we met in the volcano from earlier. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to use the Go Anywhere badge or ID or whatever it's called. Something of that ilk. And this lets us talk to a character that I like to call the mayor. Some people in the community call this the kid. I've always called him the mayor because they kind of seem like a mayor to me, but not really sure. Anyway, we use this antenna object, and he explains that he's looking for a few crystals and we need to bring them to him. So naturally, we're going to go fetch those. Our first one is in this level here, level 3-1. This level's a kind of an interesting stage. It's one of the only other levels we actually visit twice, both times very briefly. Our first visit here, we're just coming in to grab that aforementioned crystal. And all we're going to do is we're going to run down here. We're going to come to this little point and hopefully not land in the acid, and we didn't. That's great. We're going to grab this gem, and that's that. That's our first visit to the level. Short, sweet. Then we go to level 3-2, which is sort of like a jungle-themed kind of level. Also very short. World 3 is very weird. Like I said, it doesn't... It's very different compared to the rest of the game. There's a lot of, like, back and forth here compared to the other areas in the game. So here we talk to this girl, skip a couple cutscenes, skip through just a few text boxes, and back out the door we go. And then we're going to go to the end of the level and get the crystal. Hopefully we get good RG on these enemies. Let's find out.
Little fetch quests in this section.
There we go. So we're going to walk up this beanstalk. A lot easier than the beanstalk in Doraemon 2. If we get a good position on these bugs. Nope. Very rare to get good positioning on those bugs. Their positioning is random. They're usually right in the way. And they were this time as well. I didn't expect it to not be. So here we actually head back to the city that's in the second world to get our final crystal, which is in this house right here. Talk to this girl here, and she gives us our third one. Then we're going to go back to the city in World 3, and we're going to deliver the crystals to the mayor. Fun little strategy there that I found, where you don't actually have to turn the camera. You can sort of walk in a less than optimal line in order to make the camera pan itself, which saves a little bit of time over stopping to pan the camera naturally.
Fun.
So, that's one of the few times where you get an item and there's no sort of noise or indicator that lets you know that you've gotten an item. It's actually the only time in the game like that. So we're making our revisit to this level. We're going to do a damage boost there. One of the few times we do that in the run. We're going to take this teleporter and we're going to jump off the top of this. There's no fall damage in this game, by the way, so no worries there. We're going to use the item that the mayor gave us. And it's going to make this giant thing appear. We want to collect this giant thing. What we're going to do is we're going to use the shrink ray on it. And we're going to make it tiny. And then we're going to collect it. Fun stuff. Fun train of logic right there.
It's too big.
Then we get to go to the final water level. There is one very brief moment later where we have to deal with some water, but it's not like a whole water stage. Now, you'll notice that we're just staying Sue for the rest of the game so far, and hopefully, if all goes well, we'll just be Sue till the end of the game. Sue has the fastest ground movement and the fastest swim speed. So, in an ideal world, we'll just simply
really overpowered.
Yeah, in an ideal world, we'll just simply be able to be Sue for the rest of the run. Oh, there we go. We're gonna come in here.
Similar to Doraemon 2, where it's like you can just kind of get like a really hot time from not taking damage. But in this case, you need to not take damage on Sue specifically.
Yes. I did heal twice earlier, though. So in this level, much like the first water level, it's quicker to just simply warp out and then come back in than it is to swim back up. You'll notice we're using an item there. I call that the submarine cream, because it's like looks like a can of like Pond's cold cream or something, and it says submarine on it. What it does is it just allows you to dive deeper underwater. And we're going to swim to this little pedestal here. We're going to use that big talisman thing that we shrunk earlier. Like so. And then we're going to the boss level of World 3. Now, this boss level is pretty fun, actually. I really like the level. We'll see what happens here. The boss itself has a really tricky quick kill that hopefully I get. We'll find out. Some cool platforming in this next room here, though. Nice. Nice. Bam, bam. Lovely. Yeah, so that went well. Little light puzzle there. You just have to hit him in the correct order. And we're going to grab these 3 sprays that are more or less directly in our path. $33. I need 2 more. 1 more. Okay, cool. Keeping up with my spray count. And there we go. Now we're on to the third boss, which is a big monkey that sings at you. When you beat this particular boss, it unlocks the ability to play as Big G. But we're not going to be seeing Big G, unfortunately. Big G is very slow in this game. Now, this boss has something rather unique about it in that this boss can heal itself. And if we get the quick kill, it will only manage to heal itself that single time right there, which is unavoidable. Hopefully, that is the only time this boss manages to heal itself. I don't believe we're going to get it. In order to get it, you pretty much need this boss to just blink the entire fight. Oh, wow, I did get it. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't expect
Let's
to.
go.
I didn't expect to, but sure.
Yeah, it's very hard to do.
Yeah, we take those. And now we're going on to the final world of the game, World 4. World 4 is pretty interesting. There's some cool stuff in it. In particular, there's you're going to get to see a pretty interesting skip in the 3rd level that we go to. Huge group of text boxes there. And here we are in the 1st level of World 4. Now, unfortunately, this level has a bit of a gimmick in it that is similar to a gimmick early in the run where everything got really dark and you couldn't see. The really unfortunate part is, in this level, there actually is really cool stuff going on in the dark that you can't see, where we're doing some pretty tight platforming to hit some platform cycles. It's unfortunate. So, yeah. I apologize for that. That's the only unfortunate thing about this run, is these particular rooms here, you just can't really see anything. And we did get the cycle skip, which is good.
Oh, very nice.
Oh. The good news, though, is it's really short. We're already done. We're already moving on to the 2nd level of the area. Now, the object of World 4 is to collect 2 mirror shards. We already have one of them. The second one is here. This level's got some pretty interesting stuff in it. Very interesting mechanic. It's kind of an ice level, obviously. And the level sort of has 2 states, a semi-frozen state and a more frozen state. And we need to make the level go back and forth between its 2 states. First, we get to use an item that I like to call the Party Popper, which takes it to its semi-frozen state. Then we're going to go up these stairs. And we're going to go through this door and hit a switch. Like so. And then we're going to go refreeze the level. And what that switch does is it makes a platform move that we need to move in order to collect that mirror shard I mentioned. We're going to use the fan here to refreeze the level. Then hopefully I can hit this cycle, but we'll find out. Not the easiest thing, not the hardest thing either. We should be good. As long as you get on that slope, you're in pretty good shape. And there's a couple sprays right in your path. And we made the cycle, so we're good to go.
Very,
Very nice.
hopefully.
All right. So there's only 2 levels left, but there's quite a bit of, not quite a bit, but there's a little bit of wrap up we need to do. First, though, we're going to do a skip that we call slope jumping. So normally you have to do a whole series of things to make an elevator to get up here. But you can sort of activate a weapon as you're jumping onto a slope to cancel the sliding animation, which is what you saw there, which saves about a minute, honestly. Pretty cool little skip. And the object of this level is...
I didn't realize that was a whole minute.
Yeah, it might not be that much. I might be exaggerating a little, but not very much. So this level here, we're warping in and out of like sort of mirror zone things. We have one of the last little water sections here, and we actually have to use a water weapon. There's a couple weapons that you specifically can only use in water, and I shot something off screen there. I promise, it was there. Sort of like a little barrier thing you have to destroy. Then we're going to come over here, and we're going to destroy this barrier, and we're going to do it with the good old grenade, of course. Boom. And then we get to go fight the boss of this level. Now, it's worth mentioning, World 4 is a bit unique because it has two boss levels. This is the first one of the 2, obviously. And who might this boss be, you ask? What sort of boss are we going to get here? It's none other than Doraemon himself, which is pretty interesting. And for some reason, he gets a Robotnik car, or Eggman, or whatever you want to call it.
It's such a funny movie, guys.
It really is. This fight has 4 phases. Phase 1 is what you just saw there. Phase 2 is underwater, which is really cringe, but we'll deal with it. So you just swim after him and we'll pew at him till he teleports away. Really good phase 2 actually. Then phase 3 is pretty much phase 1 again, except for there's magma. We're gonna switch back to our grenade and bombs away. Doraemon hero, folks. Doraemon hero. And then phase 4, which is the same as phase 1, except for he's going to drop more enemies on the in-between little chunks there. Oh, I missed. There it is. All right, we're good. And then let's take one safety heal. Cool, cool. All right. So now we are officially in the true end game, I like to call it. We need to go to the final level. Unfortunately, the final level is in space. And, well, we can't get to space. We need a ship. Well, a cutscene that I just skipped, a ship landed back in the 3rd level of World 1. You remember way back before I mentioned that this is one of the few levels we revisit, and this is why. It's cool to get to revisit it, though, as a faster character, because we can take these slope jumps and stuff a lot more tight and riskier due to the faster movement, which is fun. Like, look at that. Like, I had no business making it up that jump whatsoever. Like so. And, oh, that can happen sometimes. No big deal. Oh, it happened twice. That's fun. There it is. Okay. So this unlocks our 6th character. Yes, there is a 6th character you can play as in this game named Dorami. Sort of a girl version of Doraemon, if you will. Hopefully we won't be seeing her. If we do, it will mean that both Sue and Sneech have died. And I don't think Sue is even going to die in this run, if I'm being honest. We come here, we get a floppy disk from this guy. Then we gotta go to this city. And we got to take the floppy disk we just got to the engineer, who explains to us that he could make a weapon for us. At least that's what we think he's saying. We're not sure. I've been meaning to ask Ananya about that. But speaking of, and this is the part when I was first playing through this game casually. This part here made me get stuck for a really long time. But in order to proceed from that point forward, you have to run all the way down here and talk to this random citizen. That's it. The game just won't proceed if you don't do that. And given that there's like little to no resources for this game online, it took me a really long time to figure out that I needed to do that. Coming into this sort of village here, I like to call it Alligator Village because all the NPCs in it are... Oh, I went to the wrong menu. That's fun. All the NPCs in it are alligators. We have to use a few items so that we blend in with the alligators and can talk to them. And we're going to go sing to the alligator chief, who's going to give us a big sort of gemstone thing. I don't know why I did that. I was talking about what I had to do there. That's why I did that. There we go. And this is our last item we will be using in the run. So no more sprays needed. We're all good to go. He gives us the big old gem. And then we go back to the city. And this is our last stop before we go to the final level of the game. All we got to do is take that gem to the engineer. And he's going to give us a big old gun. A big cannon that we need to actually beat the game. Just like so. All right, so on to the final level, the space level. Level's really cool. The music in it's really awesome, actually. Got 2 bosses. One of them is the refight with the Gundam. The other one is the final boss. But there is kind of a true final boss right after that's really short and sort of uneventful, but it does exist. So the music here is phenomenal. Lovely. And there's a really big skip we're going to be doing in the next room here. It saves quite a bit of time. Hopefully we don't mess it up. We'll see. It's not hard necessarily, but it can definitely go wrong. You have to run up this spiral and all the way to the top, and down a big pathway, and then down another spiral. Or you can just go whee, and just jump straight over to the bottom of the other spiral and skip all of it. Yeah, it's a fun skip.
Amazing.
So before I go into this room here, we need to bring back out the gun. The good old revolver. And Gundam 2. So Gundam 2 is just like Gundam 1, which personally I'm a fan of, if I'm being real. Definitely trivializes a little bit of the problem with this boss in particular. This boss is a bit of an RNG fest, or at least it used to be. Luckily, Gundam 2 is identical to Gundam 1, other than it has slightly more health and moves a little faster, shoots a few more bullets, that whole sort of thing, but the same strategy applies, which is wonderful. You'll notice that when the Gundam is shooting, the game just slogs out and lags. That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
The game's very laggy. And now we are officially going to the final boss. So the final boss of this game is one of the few things in the game we don't really have much of a strategy for. We kind of have a strategy for it, but it's mostly just skill-based. It is kind of the way it works. Although the real final boss, those of you who know me and those in the Doraemon 3 community that are in chat, for me, is this switch coming up here at the end. I've been 1 for 1 the past like 3 runs I've done. I just shoot the switch once,
Yeah.
and I'm good to go. I already know this isn't going to go well. That's how it works.
Believe.
Yep.
Believe.
There it is. That second one got it. That's still better than I've seen some of my
Okay.
runs have,
Yeah.
honestly. So I did make a little boo-boo there. I was so excited about hitting the switch, I forgot to equip the big old cannon that we got. No big deal, though. Oh, he I-framed it. So we're officially in improv land at this point.
Good luck.
Oh, I'll be all right. You'll notice there he's shooting this big red beam thing at me. It shrinks you, and when you're shrunk, you can't shoot your weapon, which, you know, stinks. Once that barrier is gone, though, we can switch away from the big cannon and start going with grenade, which is a lot more effective. Fun fact about this boss, if you manage to defeat the boss when he's doing the shrink ray and you're shrunk, the game soft locks and you just can't finish the game. So that's fun. My health is getting quite low. You know what? No. We want Sue to survive to the end, don't we?
Yes, please.
We'll use that last heart. That's what it's there for. So for some reason the boss turns into a big blob of jelly, as you just saw, and... Okay, cool. So that's the final boss, sort of. There is a true final boss coming up after this that we have to fight, and we're done with Doraemon 3. So the true final boss, now that the town is turned back to normal, is inside Nobi's desk, which those of you who are familiar with Doraemon lore in general will know that Doraemon's desk is sort of a portal kind of thing. Or rather, like a...
Yeah, portal to a different time, like
Yes.
into the future.
The true final boss we call Helmet, because it's just a helmet. What is Helmet doing? What has happened?
What is going on?
I've never seen whatever happened there. That was really weird. It was a good thing,
Yeah.
but I've never seen whatever that was. Helmet just got stuck on a wall or something. It was really weird. Okay.
Clip it, review it.
All right, so the final phase of the boss turns into a big pile of goo, and time is gonna happen when the screen fades to black after this thing explodes. And time. And that's Doraemon 3.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
PG. Well played.
Thank you. What was the final time on that?
38:49.
Yeah, that's solid. That's fine. Cool. Yeah. So
And Sue made it to the end.
yeah, and Sue
Let's go.
made it to the end. To actually answer a question in chat, soft lock means that the game cannot be completed. The game is it's broken at that point.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
To give a bit of a plug, the Doraemon 64 community, we're a pretty small community, but we're very welcoming, we're very loving, as is the theme of Doraemon in general. We have a really good time routing all 3 of the games. There's tons of cool strategies, some of which you haven't seen today, some of which you have. There's multiple categories for all the games, naturally. I can't recommend checking us out enough, honestly. Like, we're just a good group of people as a whole, and I'd like to just kind of give a special thanks to the community as a whole for just being awesome. Because when I first started running it, it was just me and maybe one other person every now and then, but it's turned into a wonderful fledgling community, and you guys are great. So shout outs to everybody, Praxco, if that's how that's pronounced, Seventh. Shout outs to Ananyai, shout outs to Utapon, shout outs to PD4FR. I love all you guys, and it's just really cool to finally get these games seen on something. It's a wonderful feeling. So thanks for having me. Hotfix is
Of course, thank you so much for joining.
Hotfix is always a fun time. I always enjoy anything I do for you guys. And
Oh, yeah.
this is definitely included in that, for sure.
I definitely appreciate you coming on and also helping me get everyone else to join in. I think that was really awesome that we were able to do an entire show themed around Doraemon. Chat, I hope you had a good time as well. We are not going anywhere because we're going to be right back with Express Lane coming up after the break. So get something to drink, stretch, again, stand up, walk around a little bit, come back, watch more speedruns. It'll be a great night. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.